Now continuing from 159 problem. Now since the axis is inclined to VP at 30 degrees, now since in the second position, if you see, it is resting on one of the edges of the base on HP such that the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degrees. So here this axis was the true inclination line because OO1 is parallel to VP. So we are getting the true length here. So applying the same concept here, since the axis is given to be a true inclination line which he has given. So since the axis is inclined to HP here, so now we have got the apparent length here. Now we want to rewrite the same sketch which is the second position top view in the third position. So we need to consider this inclination. So here he says he has given the true inclination. Always he gives the true inclination. This axis is inclined at 30 degrees to VP. So since the axis is given as the true inclination line, now here this axis will have the apparent length. So on the true inclination line we have to get the true length only. So you take the true length of the axis. Where you are going to get the true length of the axis? Since the axis is parallel to VP, so I am getting the true length here, that is O dash O1 dash. What will going to be this length? This length will going to be the height of the prism, which is 65 mm. So consider any point on the XY line and you draw a line which is inclined at 30 degrees to the XY line. Then measure the length from O dash to O1 dash, which is 65 mm. Consider any point on that 30 degree line and mark that point as O. Then from here you cut an arc on that 30 degree line to get this point. So then draw a locus from that point. Then you measure the true length of the axis, apparent length of the axis from O to O1 in the second position top view by using the compass. Again with the same center O, cut an arc on this locus line to get the point O1 and join O to O1 with a center line. Now you transfer these points now. So then by using the compass you measure the distance from O to this point. Then transfer that point from O onto this O1 line. Then since BC is perpendicular to OO1, so through this point by using the protractor you measure an angle of 90 degree with respect to OO1 and then draw a perpendicular line. Then you measure the length from this point to B and also from this point to C. Both will going to have equal length. So from this side you cut an arc on this to get this point B, and similarly from this point you cut an arc on this to get this point C. Then you draw a perpendicular through the point C and also from the point B by using the protractor. You measure 90 degree with respect to BC and then draw a perpendicular line. Similarly with the point B by using the protractor you measure an angle of 90 degree with respect to BC and draw a perpendicular line. Since you got this point B, from B you measure the distance of B to A, which is equal to C to D. From B you cut an arc on this side to get this point A, and similarly from C to cut an arc on this to get this point D. So now you got A, B, C, D. Now from D you measure the distance with respect to S. From D you cut an arc on this line to get this point S. Similarly from A you cut an arc on this to get this point P, because both are equal distances. Similarly you measure the distance from D to R. From D you cut an arc on this side to get the point R. Similarly from A to Q both will going to have the same distances. From A you cut an arc to get this point Q. Then since we have transferred all the points and named them, now you join them, complete the third position top view exactly the same as that of the second position top view, including visible and invisible edges. Now we need to write the front view. So draw a horizontal projector from B dash C dash and draw a vertical projector from B and also from C to intersect at this point B dash and C dash. Then draw a horizontal projector from O dash and draw a vertical projector from O to intersect at this point O dash. Similarly, draw a horizontal projector from A dash and D dash and draw a vertical projector from D and also from A to intersect at this point D dash and A dash. Then draw a horizontal projector from Q dash R dash and draw a vertical projector from Q and R to intersect at Q dash R dash. Similarly, draw a horizontal projector from O1 dash and draw a vertical projector from O1 to intersect at this O1 dash. Then draw a horizontal projector from P dash S dash and draw a vertical projector from P and S to get these 2 points. Now name them, then join with a continuous thin line, join between A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash, C dash to D dash and D dash to A dash. Similarly, join between P dash to Q dash, Q dash to R dash to S dash and S dash to P dash. Then join A dash to P dash, B dash to Q dash, C dash to R dash and D dash to S dash. Now we will apply the condition of visibility. So first condition is all the exterior edges of the boundaries of the solids are visible. So A dash to P dash, P dash to S dash, S dash to R dash to C dash, C dash to B dash and B dash to A dash will form the exterior edges of the boundaries of the solid. So you dark them. When you look from the front view, PQRSP is the base which is near to the observer, so which is visible. So you dark between P dash to Q dash and Q dash to R dash. So from Q dash there are 3 emanating edges, that is Q dash R dash, Q dash P dash and Q dash B dash. From a point, if any one of the edges are visible, then automatically all other edges emanating from that point will be visible. So applying that rule, so here since P dash Q dash and Q dash R dash are visible, so naturally B dash Q dash becomes visible. So this becomes visible edge. Now when you consider S dash D dash, so this S dash D dash is crossing this P dash Q dash line. So the rule says 2 visible edges can never cross each other. So obviously D dash S dash becomes invisible. Similarly, D dash C dash is crossing the visible edge of B dash Q dash. So naturally D dash C dash becomes invisible because 2 visible edges can never cross each other. So applying that rule. So from this point D dash there are 3 edges which is emanating out of that, which is that D dash S dash, D dash C dash and D dash A dash. From this point D dash S dash is already invisible, D dash C dash is already invisible. So naturally from a point, if any one of the edges is invisible, automatically all other edges emanating out of that edge will that point will going to be invisible. So you will get D dash A dash also becomes invisible. Since the portion of ABCD is invisible, that is A dash D dash and D dash C dash is invisible, so naturally this O dash will going to become invisible. So you put it in bracket. So join O dash to O1 dash with a center line. Since P dash Q dash R dash S dash and P dash are all are visible, the entire surface is visible. Since O1 dash is on that surface, so O1 dash will be visible. So join O dash and O1 dash with a center line mark. This is also quite evident from here. PQRS is near to the observer, so it is visible. So O1 is on that, so O1 dash is visible. Since O dash is away from the observer and it is hidden by the edge of AD and BC, so naturally O dash becomes invisible. Now, so how to analyze this is going to be the final solution. Here, a square prism of 35 mm side and axis length 65 mm rests on one of the base edges on HP. Draw its projections when the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degrees and the axis which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. So we need to find out the beta inclination for this. So hence we found out the beta inclination for this, and hence the problem is right.